Hey guys, this is Travis Singham with Shell Shock MMA. We're here in Denver, Colorado at the Muscle Farm headquarters for Elevation Fight Team, and we got to my right none other than the man that's going for the amateur light heavyweight title next Friday night for Fight to Win's Animals card. We got Chris Morgan. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good, good.
See you guys.
Now, everybody has been talking about years of your whole presence with the light heavyweight division, and you're only just an amateur. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into the sport of MMA.
That's a funny question. No one really asked that. I didn't really have any intention of getting into MMA. I played every sport in the book. Football, basketball, baseball. In high school, I was an all-Colorado athlete in high school. I received a scholarship to go play college football in Northern Colorado. I played football there all 5 years. Never even thought about, lacing up the gloves or anything like that. Thought I was going to go to the NFL or whatever, like everybody does. But to make a long story short, Shane Carwin, Northern Colorado is located in Greeley.
Yeah.
Shane's from Greeley.
Hometown, yeah.
Yeah, he literally only lived like 6 or 7 minutes down the highway from the university.
Nice.
He was driving down to Denver to train like 2-3 times a day.
Oh.
Driving to train, drive back up to go to work because he's a water engineer for Greeley, well, he was at least.
For Weld County.
Yeah, for Weld. Exactly. So he got sick and tired of going down and just getting like strength training down in Denver. So one day out of the blue, he just walks into the weight room when the football team's lifting, and the university strength and conditioning coach was the one who, was our strength and conditioning coach for the football team, basketball team, baseball, like all the major sports. He was the guy. So in walks Shane one day, and he's like, I'm tired of driving down to Denver to get some strength and conditioning. I want to hire you as my strength and conditioning, so I only have to drive 5 minutes down the highway.
Nice.
And the guy's name was Joe Schaefer. He was like, sure, you could just come in and lift with the football team when they lift. So he would come in, and then at first everyone was kind of scared of him.
He's a beast.
We knew who he was, but just looking at the guy, he's not the type of guy. He's a very nice guy. But once we broke the water with him, he loved all of us. He became real close with all of us, and he'd come to our games and give us shout outs on the radio and stuff, and he would take us to dinners and stuff like that. And then me and him just hit it off. He was just like, if you ever want to come in and train, he's like, just give me a call. And then when stuff didn't work out to go to the next level for football, I was just bored, and I still had his number, and I called him up, and then started training him with Rick Grudge, and the rest is history.
That's crazy.
That's how I got into the sport.
Now, obviously, Shane Carwin has ties with Leister Bowling, the coach over here at Elevation and stuff like that. So that's pretty much how the process went. You knew Shane, went down to Leister, then you went with Trevor and everybody else that just kind of went down the ladder.
Christian, exactly.
Yeah, Christian and everybody else did. So.
That's it. And then a lot of people don't know this about me either. I never thought about doing MMA. I started boxing first. I won the Colorado Gold Gloves heavyweight title.
Yeah, just like
2012.
Brandon Shaw, yeah.
I followed in the exact same footsteps of Brandon.
Nice, nice.
I didn't know if I wanted to do MMA. I started doing amateur boxing, and then I just started tearing up through amateur boxing, entered Golden Gloves, won that, and then I'm like, just decided to go to the cage after that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of weird how the whole process and stuff goes, especially with you guys that are multi-sport athletes and stuff like that. And you never know what kind of path it takes and stuff. Kind of tell us about some of the advantages that you think you do have, especially being in the multi-sports and having practice, every afternoon after class and everything like that. What you bring into the MMA world?
Just as far as maybe the MMA or Eric Murray, if you want to do it like that, it's the discipline. You were a student athlete when you played football, so a lot of people don't realize that we had to lift weights every day at 5:30 in the morning. Go to class, then go to practice, then go to study hall, then go home. So it teaches you a lot about discipline, punctuality, being on time. Kind of made you grow up at a younger age than at 20, 18. Everyone thinks they're grown up, they really don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Give us your thoughts on going from, multi-sport athlete going into the MMA world.
Being a multi-sport athlete, I feel like doesn't really transfer a lot over into MMA as far as like the MMA being a good mixed martial artist, like boxer, kickboxer, whatever. But the thing that being in sport your whole life, team sports, playing that high level of college sports, is it teaches you about discipline, obviously punctuality. Like I said, we had to be up at 5:30 every morning, straight to school, straight to practice, straight to study hours, straight to sleep. It's punctuality. And then, it teaches you to grow up at a younger age, opposed, most 18 to 20-year-olds, normal college kids are worried about obviously getting drunk.
Yeah,
about
girls,
cutting grades.
exactly.
A lot of people don't realize you have to cut a C average to stay eligible to play. So as far as school, it was very important that we stay eligible or whatnot, cut the grades to be able to stay on the field. And not only that, I feel like being an athlete my whole life does give me an advantage as far as going to MMA. A lot of these guys, a lot of them, you'd be surprised, some of the biggest names in MMA didn't play a sport when they were younger.
Or just
football.
one. Yeah, or
not
just
even
one.
football,
Yeah,
not even
yeah.
baseball. Like they were maybe in karate or something else, or didn't even think about doing it. Like it was funny. Me and Drew Dauber were just joking about it earlier before practice. I said, "Did you ever play any sports?" And he's like, "Anything with the ball, I sucked." But get him on the mat, and he's a great athlete in mixed martial arts. So I feel like I bring a different sense of athleticism to the MMA sport. Athletes like John Bones Jones and George St. Pierre, they're very good athletes, and they bring that to the cage. And I feel like that's why they're as successful as they are, because they're just not a mixed martial artist, they're an athletic mixed martial artist.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what I do have over Eric Murray is I am more athletic than him. I know he is an explosive kid, but I know I'm more explosive than that kid. I can guarantee it.
Yeah. Now, when going into the fight, obviously he's 4-2, you're 2-0, and your first two fights pretty much have gone less than 2 minutes. So, what's that go as far as when you and Coach Bowling are trying to figure out like what opponent to continue your step, get to the title? Is it just pretty much the promoter gives you a name, and then that's pretty much how it goes?
Yeah, you know what? To be honest with you, I wish it was that easy. Eric Murray was the only person that stepped up to take the fight here in Colorado, anywhere. Seth, Leister, Christian, they contacted, I think, 20 gyms around here to try to find me a matchup, and no one wanted to fight me because of the two displays that I've had earlier in my career, and it's understandable. It is a business.
Yeah.
So I can understand why some of these other guys, 205 amateurs, don't want to fight me, because they're around that turning block to go pro or whatever, and also sending back some of the guys I have in mind. I'm not going to say any names.
Yeah.
But
I have a couple of names too.
Sure. So I've tried to get everywhere. I've tried to fight anybody out there in Colorado, and I've had no success. And Eric Murray, we reached out to Kansas City, Oklahoma. Eric Murray took it, and he's from Omaha. And he was just the first guy to take it. And as far as that goes, if I want to turn professional, I got to get this fight out of the way. So I didn't really care what his record was. It was just, if he wants to take it, let's do it.
Now, obviously, with your answer, the most relevant question's got to be: are you going to turn pro right after this? If you win the title, are you going to defend it a couple times then turn pro, or how's it going to work?
You know what? To be brutally honest, as you can see, I'm pretty much one of the only amateurs on my team as it is. There's probably 5 or 6 UFC guys out there right now.
Yeah, exactly.
There's not a lot of amateurs. I can't, maybe me and Sonny. That's about it. And so yes, the plan is I don't train with any amateurs. I barely train with any average pros. I train with top big name pros or big organization pros. So yeah, if I win this fight and belt, I don't think I'll defend it. I think I'll just go ahead and turn that corner and turn professional.
Turn pro. Now, as far as going your career where it goes, just up from there, what do you kind of see in your future? Is it just more of the local circuit, just see who you could really get and just go from there, or is it just pretty much, talk to your coaches and stuff and just see how it goes?
Yeah, you know what? That's a good question. I often question myself that. I really don't know where I'm at right now. A lot of people don't realize I've only been in this sport 2 years, and I've been so successful as is in 2 years. A great deed is due to being athletic, but I don't know. It's just one fight at a time. But I feel like if I could keep winning fights, then there's no reason where I couldn't take this as far as I want to go with it.
Yeah, well, and a lot of people don't realize that a lot of sacrifices that amateur fighters just have to put out anyways, due to not getting a lot of money as far as the fight goes, and got to cover ticket sales and everything like that. It's usually a distraction to be an amateur fighter. How do you kind of put that in the your back mirror and stuff like that, where you just kind of
You hit it on the head there. You really did. Amateur fighters work every bit as hard as a pro fighter, but don't reap the benefits. Every pro fighter has been in an amateur fighter's shoes, been in my shoes, so they've been where I've been to get where they are. But they know that what I'm speaking is true. There's no purse. It's all about ticket sales. So in order to get that percentage, make a decent penny, you got to really push ticket sales. So with the with me, it's all about pushing ticket sales and shirts. So that's extra stress getting the shirts made and making sure they sell and pushing the tickets. And with my fan base that I have, it's so stressful. So yeah, it's definitely it's almost worth it to turn the corner and go professional if I'm victorious after this fight, because I'm putting in the same amount of work.
Yeah, and plus all the stress and everything, might as
Sure.
well get rid of it if you
Mhm.
can. Now, who's some of the family members, a lot of the sponsors you'd like to thank? Talk about your fight shirt that just came out as well.
Yeah, glad you guys follow that. You know, this was a Chris Espinoza. He makes all my shirts. SB Printing. He's one of the best. He's really cheap. I want to give Chris Espinoza a big shout out, making getting those shirts done on time when I wanted. He's great at all. Any fighter, if you want a shirt done, give me a shout out. Go to Chris Espinoza. He'll get it done at a cheap rate. I want to thank all my sponsors. I'm glad you gave me that. Freddy's Barbershop, always keeping me
Yeah,
clean for the
exactly.
camera, for
Get
the
the hair,
haircut.
yeah.
Freddy's Barbershop, Rains Precision Motorsports, my mechanic. He works on my Cadillac, all customs, any normal repairs. Mile High Jewelers, they're new onto this camp. They're over there in Aurora Mall. So if you're looking for that engagement ring or whatever, go see Mile High Jewelers. They're brand new. I want to thank them for the big sponsorship. Ethan Davis at Riker Realtors, college football buddy of mine. He's now making big money as a realtor out here in Colorado and
Oh, nice.
Aurora. So he sponsors me. Thank you, Ethan Davis. Riker Realtors, give him a shout out. Let me see. I don't want to forget anybody.
How about family members, coaches, and teammates?
I'll get there. Gray Colbert. Gray Colbert. He's like family to me. He's a sponsor this time. He does trucking and excavating. He's one of the newest sponsors this one. He's like a father figure to me. I want to thank you very much, Gray. And as far as moral support, definitely I want to thank my twin sister, Erin, my brother, John, and my mom, Deborah. And then, all my family and friends who always come out there and wear my T-shirts and come support me. Come April 18th, we're going to put on a show.
That's great. How about your coach's teammate?
Always. Leister Bowling, that man has made me into a beast of a
Yeah.
wrestler. He has took my wrestling from here to here.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not every day that you say you can go in and wrestle with, two-time national champion, three-time All-Americans
Yeah.
on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Leister Bowling is not only a great coach, but a great mentor, prepares you to fight. Christian Allen, since day one, he's always been in my corner with jiu-jitsu striking. He's always believed in me. And another big shout out this camp, I want to give Justin Houghton a shout out.
Oh, yeah, J-Ho,
I've been
yeah.
over at Pound for Pound working my Muay Thai with him, coaching over at his gym with him, the cardio boxing. He's got my kicking and my knees where they need
Yeah,
to be
he's
for
a
this
beast,
fight.
too.
He's a
Yeah.
beast. J.O., big shout out. And
Nice.
that'll do it.
Yeah. So next Friday night, we got this man, Simo, going for the light heavyweight amateur title and fight to win animal card.
One more shout out.
One more.
Vampire Vaporizers. For you marijuana smokers, they're cornering me. This camp, they're sponsoring me. I didn't want to forget about them. So Vampire Vaporizers, thank you for that one as well.
Perfect. Thanks, man. Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank you,
Have a
guys.
good one.
I would. Hey, babies.